So what do you need to ask, or what do you need to know if you're getting one of these batteries? Well, you're probably getting solar at the same time, so it's useful to know how many solar panels you can have per string input on the energy controller. And the answer to that is between 3 panels and 12 panels, depending on the voltage of the panel. If you're looking to put a string of 3 panels on the inverter, then I'd probably suggest going for higher voltage panels like the REC Alpha RX, as these will actually activate the inverter earlier in lower light conditions, as they have a higher output voltage. So over the year, with higher voltage panels, you'll get more generation if you've not got many panels on a string. Another thing to consider is how many battery modules you actually need. To that, I'd say that if you're getting solar and battery for the purposes of getting the best financial return possible, then I'd almost always recommend slightly undersizing the battery storage. For battery storage to really pay for itself, it needs to be fully cycling, ideally once per day. If you oversize the system, then it's not going to do that, and you're not going to get the best return possible. So for that reason, I'd usually recommend slightly undersizing the storage initially, and then reviewing a year's worth of data before installing more batteries if the data shows that it's a prudent investment. Remember that with this system, you can always add more storage on very easily in the future. You just take the energy controller off and add another battery on. And if you do expand the system in the future, the technology will probably have moved on, so you'll be able to get more storage for less money. Something we get asked about is whether the battery should go inside or outside. Now, it is IP66 rated, so you can put it outside if you want, but you do need to be conscious of the temperature. Batteries become incredibly inefficient below 5 degrees Celsius, and the charge rate drops massively. So to combat this, SigEnergy has added heat packs into the battery modules. Each module has its own heat packs built in, which will work to keep the cells between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius. The system will monitor the weather forecast to try and predict when the temperature will drop and make sure the battery efficiency isn't compromised as a result. Something you may want to do is wall mount the battery instead of having it sit on the floor. That's fine, and SigEnergy does sell a wall mounting kit, however you can't have more than 2 modules on the wall. So you can either have 2 batteries and the energy controller, or a battery and the DC charger and then the energy controller on top. But you can't have more than that, you've got to put it on the floor if you want a bigger system. So another big question is, what if I get a DNO restriction? And this, I would say, is actually one of the weaknesses of the SigEnergy. Other competitors like Powerwall 3 and Give Energy All-in-One 2 have rateable inverters. The main inverter, for example in Powerwall, is 11.04 kilowatts. However, it can be down-rated in the software if you get a DNO restriction, say down to 8 kilowatts. With the SigEnergy, you have to just opt for the 8 kilowatt inverter. That's fine, but if the DNO rating increases down the line because the supply gets upgraded, and remember the UK government's just committed about £30 billion to upgrading the grid, then you can't take advantage of your increased inverter capacity without buying new hardware, which is likely going to cost thousands of pounds. Whereas with the Powerwall or Give Energy, you could just uprate the inverter through the software.